What's up, everybody? So in this video, we're going to talk about scare tactics that you receive from collection companies. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Kenny. I operate a credit repair company here in Canada, which is called Kenny Johnson University. If you need help, you can always reach out and contact us. So in this video, again, we're going to be talking about scare tactics. So I work with many clients across Canada, and one of the most common things that I hear from them is that they're receiving letters and threats, basically putting them in a corner to where they have to pay for that debt. Now, the reality of it is if you're being contacted by a collection company, you initially don't have to pay for anything until you receive proof of debt. And just to clarify, proof of debt is something you're going to hear me say a lot of times. Proof of debt is that original signed contract that you received from a collection company. So one of the most common threats that I'll hear is that, hey, Kenny, I received a letter in the mail from ABC collection company, and they pretty much share with me that I have 10 days to pay off this debt. Okay. Now, what actually ends up happening is that 10 days will go by and nothing happens. Okay. That's just the reality. Most times, time is going to go by and nothing's going to happen. This is a scare tactic. A collection company cannot put you on a time limit to pay a debt. Okay. You were on a time limit when that original account was active. So let's say, for example, that original account was a credit card. There was a due date for you to make that payment on that credit card, okay? And the most that happened was that you accrued a bunch of late payments, you accrued interest, and that account closed and was sent and then sent to collections. So now a collection company can't come along and say, hey, you have 10 days to pay this account, and you should be fearing for your life. Now, worst thing that can happen, or worst place that this account can get to, is that they file a judgment against you. Okay, and then obviously that's going to depend on the province that you live on the amount of time that that collection company can do so or actually do so. All right, but if you do get that letter saying, hey, Bill, you have 10 days to make the payment, and a lot of times I just say be patient. You can actually flip this over onto the collection company just by sharing with them, well, okay, I actually have, I don't recognize this debt, but if you can, please provide me with proof of debt, right? I want to see the statements from this account. I want to see proof that you actually purchased this from from the original creditor. I want to see my signed contract on the original contract before I move forward with paying you guys my money. Okay, and the reason why all of this was put into place to protect you as a consumer is because that another collection company can purchase this debt, it can get passed on and passed forth, and then you could end up paying multiple companies. I've seen that happen. People end up paying multiple collection companies, and you just get to a point where I'm like, I'm tired of paying this. Like, I've already paid this debt. Why am I still paying it, right? So that's where proof of debt is so important, because it's there to protect you as a consumer. Now, if you get this letter, I will go ahead and reply to the letter with a letter and say, provide me with proof of debt. If you want to jump on the phone with them, you can. I would just say be very wary of this, because they do record phone calls, and they can put you in a position to where you say something where you probably shouldn't say, right? Because they could be very aggressive with you, and cut that out and just keep the parts where you said and use that against you. I've literally seen this. I've literally seen this with some of my clients that I have worked with, right? So I don't want you to be in that situation. When you compose a letter to a collection company, it gives you the time to have the clarity of mind. It gives you the time to really think of the best thing to say, and it gives you time to research. Research other people's experience, watch videos like this, learn what you should be saying to them, right? In the beginning, you can keep it very simple. If you want to make it complicated or leverage some laws that are available to you as a Canadian, you can leverage provincial laws. Okay, you can go to your provincial Consumer Protection Act. You want to find what the Consumer Protection Act is within your province, simply go to Google, and let's say you live in Ontario. Consumer Protection Act for Ontario. You are going to find the Consumer Protection Act, and you can start leveraging those laws from the Consumer Protection Act and placing it into your letter. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that as soon as you request that proof of debt from the collection companies, they need to provide you with that documentation. If not, you can submit a complaint with the Ministry of Finance, and they can face fines of over to $100,000. Now, moving on, another one of the tactics or scare tactics that I've heard is that we're going to force you to file for bankruptcy. No collection company can force you to file a bankruptcy. Okay, you would literally have to sign with a trustee, and I'm really talking about a soft bankruptcy here with a consumer proposal, you would literally need to sign off on that for a bankruptcy to be submitted. Okay, no one can force you to sign a bankruptcy. The worst thing that a collection company can do is file a judgment against you, but it would first need to be within the statute of limitations, and they would need to have proof of debt. Okay, if you don't know what the statute of limitations on debt is, you can Google that information as well. For most provinces, it's 2 years. Quebec, it's 3. And then if you're in PEI or far out east, it could range and go up to 6 years, right? So it varies from province to province. That's why I say we want to do everything by writing and letter, because it gives you time to research and look up these different things. Okay. So if you get this letter, a lot of people panic. A lot of people panic when they get those letters saying you have 10 days to pay, or we're going to force you to file for bankruptcy. Because we think, when we hear bankruptcy, we think of, your life being ruined. We've seen things on TV where, they come into your house and they move things out of your house, like a couch or something crazy like that. But that's not the reality of it. Okay, so first of all, no one can force you to file for bankruptcy. You are the only one that can file for bankruptcy if you so choose to do so. Okay, you would have to sign off on that agreement. All right. A collection company, they can file a judgment against you, but it would need to be within the statute of limitations for your province, and they would need to have proof of debt. Okay. And you can flip this onto them by requesting that they provide you with proof of debt. All right. So don't be intimidated with the scare tactics. Understand what the purpose of the scare tactic is. A lot of times when you're being contacted by a collection company, it's a sales rep. It's a sales rep that's there to make commission on that sale. They purchased this debt for pennies on the dollar, and now they are going to make a profit off of it by scaring you into paying the debt. That's what that is. Okay. Let's be honest. If you follow the money and you look at how the cycle of a collection account works, you'll understand that this is just a sales call that you're receiving. Okay. And by the way, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be paying a collection company. It's just there's a right way to go about it. There's a right way to go through it, right? You shouldn't shy away from communicating with them, but if you're going to communicate with them, it should be done through paper. All right. So if you're currently in this situation and you don't want to do so on your own, you can always send me an email. You can email me at info@kennyjohnsonuniversity.com. You can always call us between 8 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is 438-803-1002. We're always available. But until then, best of luck. Next time, peace.